And it's true. The laws are made so that African Americans and Latinos will go to jail. And it was. When I was in prison, African Americans and Latinos were 40% of the prison population. Whites were 60. Now, whites and African Americans are identical. And if you add African Americans and Latinos, then you know what you got? 70% of the prison population. Why? So why were we not fighting for that? Why we did not stop those laws that said, we're going to keep you safe for bullshit? You're going to keep me safe by destroying communities? You know, locking up kids that are not criminals?
Yeah.
Yeah, they committed an offense. Everyone needs to pay. But you're right. I can forfeit $50 million to the government and get 10 years. I didn't say I got 10 years because of the money. I'm not saying that. But the big guys, all they sit back there is just telling people. They know a lot of people tell, huh? So they can reduce their sentence. And prison are full of nobodies. 16, 17, 18-year-old kids doing life. What do you think the kid's going to become? An animal. An animal. Do we care? No. We got private prisons that are as corrupt as anything is. And that's how we change the world, you know. We change the world with our votes. We change the world by changing our communities. Realizing that, listen, right now, you got all this corporation giving money to African-American movement, and it's great. I'm so glad finally they're doing it. But I would bet how many of them are really doing it because they feel it deep down inside. But it doesn't matter as long as they give it. It's what matters.
Right, yeah. They're doing it for their own gain,
PR.
for their own side.
Exactly,
right.
for PR. So Roger Goodell right now is apologizing for how he destroyed Kaepernick's life because the guy, all he did was kneel
He's
in protest.
just jumping on the bandwagon, right?
Of course he is.
He didn't say shit.
Because right now, exactly, right now he'd be freaking crucified.
Right.
So they're all hypocrites. You know?
They are.
I love Michael Jordan, right? Because I think he's probably the greatest athlete there ever was. But freak, Michael, you could have given that money a long time ago. Why now? Because now it's popular. We're all banding together.
Doesn't he own a lot of major stakes in prisons too?
No. I
heard that he does.
No, if people gamble as much as he does, but
yeah.
But the thing is, he's got so Michael's a good guy, man. Look, like one guy said, if Michael Jordan gambles $1 million, it's like you and I $10. So it does,
right.
He's too proud to gamble on his team. He's just the greatest athlete, man. He was unbelievable. I admire him tremendously. But when you got all this money, man, you gotta look at the guy left behind. Do like LeBron. He moved into Brentwood. Brentwood in California is rich, mega rich, multi-million-dollar houses, all white. Here's LeBron James. He's gonna be a skeptical. He's LeBron James. Not that he's gonna be liked. No. But that's the world. That's the world we live in. And we have to be real about the fact that since the time of Abraham, we always have one human being despising another human being. And that's not going to change no matter how many cities we burn or nothing. But that shouldn't be our focus. Yeah, it's good. Like Van Jones said, we're raising awareness. More people are talking about it. And hopefully people would have people of color will have greater opportunities. But the truth of the matter is, you know how you get the greater opportunity? When you get educated and when you make them pick you.
Right.
When I got the highest scholarship at Loyola, it wasn't because I was Hispanic like the other student said. Oh, he's affirmative action. No, I got it because I almost had perfect score on my GREs and 4.0 in my master's. And because I had written 5 papers and published them already in master's program when none of them had. So, yeah. I don't believe in luck. I think luck is preparing yourself for the right opportunity at the right time. If someone says right now, George, I'm going to give you Air Force One. All you got to do is fly it to Camp David. Man, what an unlucky guy, because I can't fly Air Force One. But if they tell me to fly, a high-performance Meridian, I can, because I have a pilot's license. So, I'm lucky. No, there's no luck. Luck is, now, you position yourself. Look at Ben Carson, man, no father, The guy becomes one of the most renowned surgeons in America. Did he get the job that he get? Did he get to separate those twins because he was black? No, because he was the brightest African American. Did Obama get elected because he was black? No, because he was brilliant.
Right.
Did he get the first African American head of the Harvard Review because he was black? No. Now, we have to fight twice as hard as others, I'll tell you that much, to be in the same category. But so what? Fight. Show the world that what you got, you earned it. And the sad part is that we are leaving a whole community of kids behind that have no chance. No chance, man. I see them coming to prison. I used to cry. You realize that 70% of all these African American kids coming to prison couldn't even read or write? And so what I did, I created a program in the education department to teach them to get a GED, so at least they'd have a high school diploma. You should see how proud, you see how hard they work for it. Why? Because somebody believed in them. That's all kids need, man. All kids need. Abraham Lincoln said, a child will be your next president, your next pastor, your next lawyer, your next congressman. The fate of humanity lies in the hands of our children. Mm-hmm. Think about those words, the fate of humanity. Look at where humanity is going right now because we're not educating our kids. Latin America, perfect example. Horrific education program. You know why? Because the dumber you keep the people, the more controllable they are. You can't control an educated person. So let's rebuild our communities. Yeah. Let's fight prison reform. Let's fight social justice reform, and say enough is enough. And then we start to begin to change the world. And if all we do is we'll change.
Answers. Don't watch CNN and Fox. And
no, don't watch them people. One adores the president, the other one hates the president. No, look. Yep. I don't like everything he does, and I like something that he does because, you got to be impartial. I just can't hate the guy because, I'm a Democrat. I just can't.
Right.
There's nothing right, and whatever he's doing is all wrong.
Right.
No, he don't. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is, you don't like him, vote him out. But while he's in office, pray for him because his success is yours. I don't know if you figured that out or not.
Yeah.
So, and we all do something wrong, but hey, I wouldn't want to be president.
No, I don't know. I don't know who would, especially him. He had the life before he decided to become president.
Yeah. I mean, he would love all the people that hate him loved him.
Yeah, right.
Because the guy was I loved him, man, because the guy would go on Howard Stern and he would be cool.
Yeah. Say
crazy stuff. I didn't like his position against Hispanics, and that threw me off. But, no one's perfect. I am by no means. Man, if my wife was to just look at me for my faults, we wouldn't be married 25 years.
Well, that's amazing, man. You have your message and your story is extremely powerful. And thank you so much for coming on here and sharing it with everybody. Let everybody know where they can find your book and where they can find you online, your website, your social media.
Yeah. If they go to my webpage, Jorge Valdes, Jorge, ValdezPhD.com, Valdes with an S, and you sign on to our community, they'll get a free copy of my book, my latest book. You can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Everything we're trying to do is to make a difference. The books that we sell, none of the money comes to me. I wish it did. No, it goes to send it to a prisoner. So that they would find a different alternative to life, and at least, if nothing else, find hope in a hopeless situation. So we have a YouTube channel. We have a podcast. I just came up with a journal, which I think is my greatest work. I mean, I spent half of my life doing my PhD dissertation. 3 people read it. And called Narco Mindset Journal. And you can go to narcomindset.com. And what it is my son, my 16-year-old son, he was 16 when he was really messed up with drugs. He asked me to, about a year ago, said, Dad, he's super successful now on his way to become a millionaire, married, little daughter, his own home. People can't believe that he was addicted to drugs when he was young. Not addicted, but he was messed up with drugs. Anyway, came to live with me and said, Dad, why don't you write a journal that people can look at the principle you've given me throughout life, integrity, and into action. So every week, it's a 12-week, so I pick a subject of the things that are most important, and I end up with a code at the end. So I say like win-win, like proactive. I said why I never lost a gram of cocaine, never lost a load. Why? Because I was so anal about and obsessive about being proactive. Mm-hmm. I looked at every little detail that could go wrong, from the engine to the mechanic. I never had a pilot from the United States go by himself because why? Well, what if there was an operation going? Where else would he land? I would bring a Colombian pilot. What if they were following here and he could tell them where he was going? So I was always very meticulous. So I talk about that because America is the most reactive society in the world, right? We don't know none about it. How many times you hear, I never thought my child would commit suicide. Really? Or maybe you just never looked. And so I write those items, and then you apply them. I apply them to your family, your work, and your personal. And how in 12 weeks you change your mindset where he says the mindset that I had to overcome tortures, to overcome 10 years in jail, to lose everything I have, to build a multi-million-dollar drug empire, and then to build a multi-million-dollar company. So I just finished writing that, and I'm really happy about that because it'll help people change their mindset. Why look at this virus as a joke? Why am I not worried about none of it? Well, I take the precautions, right? I wash my hands, one thing to worry. But at the end of the day, if I live for Jesus. If I die, I go with Jesus. So, I thought I would be there by 20. So your days are marked, so I'm not worried. I'm going to live life. I live life as if today's my last day. Every day. I do the best I can every day. I love my kids. I invest in my kids' lives, and that's the mindset. So we're living in fear, I live with love.